I'm live. Happy Sunday. Hope you've had a great day so far. It's still morning here, and this is just me doing this before I step into church. Okay, I've been sharing for the last 2 weeks now about Joshua because for me, this is an inspiring journey. If you follow through or if you want to go back, I'll just give you a summary of what Joshua 1 is. It's about leadership, a call to leadership, a call to stepping into purpose. And chapter 2 was about vision and convictions. So, chapter 3 today is something very remarkable. It talks about, of course, I don't read the scripture, so I expect that if you are really interested in getting the full gist, the full revelations of what this is about, maybe you can take some time out to read, Joshua 3 today, okay? But this is basically them entering into the prom when they were about to enter into the promised land. God gave specific instructions. And now the instruction was to step into the water, right? He told the priest to step into the water. It was the stepping into the water that would cause the water to part. So the water wasn't going to divide until they stepped in. Wow. Yeah. So for me, what do you think already? Like, this is faith, right? This is just like bold faith, having to step in. What if that water was like a stormy water that was going to consume them? Just think about that. Like, if that was the fact, then maybe some people may have been scared, but right, they took the instructions from God and decided to step into the water. So I'm just going to take a look at some of the verses here that talked about, this thing. So in Joshua, the verse 13 said, God told them that as the priests, God told them as the priests who carried the ark, the into the Jordan, the waters will stop flowing and stand up in heap. So God told them what will happen if they stepped into the water. There are many things we see in life that are like the promises we see, right? We know that, oh, if I'm supposed to do this thing, I'm going to definitely get rewards from it. Take, for example, you're trying to maybe get to the next level or the next position in your life. It could be concerning maybe setting up a business, it could be concerning doing a maybe like a promotion or maybe a certification that will get you there. But sometimes we're held back by the what ifs, because we cannot see what's on the other side, right? Probably there's so much to do at this point in time, and you're wondering, how can I do it? There's something I like to say is the fact that we most times in the world's view, it's like you believe before you no, you see first, then you believe. They say seeing is believing, right? But that's exactly contrary to what the Bible says. You have to believe first before you see it, right? You have to believe first before you see it. Now they were given instructions. They believed that when they stepped into it, it was going to part for them. So, what is your own story like? What are those things that are holding you back? Like, what are you keeping yourself back from and not moving forward in your life in one situation or another because you're not sure what's on the other side? God is telling you today to step into that water so that you can see it part for you. Joshua told them to sanctify themselves, right? That means there's an internal work that needs to be done. In my journey, I've really learned that there's a lot of mouth and mind coherence, if I would say, right? You may be speaking one thing, but your mind does not fully believe or comprehend that thing, right? For you to see answers. So you may be even confessing positively, but have you done the internal work? Here, they were told to sanctify themselves. So there's an internal preparation, an internal work that you need to do for you to fully live, for you to fully express yourself, for you to fully position yourself to receive that promised land, that thing that God has set for you. Because it's in that preparation that you get that stubborn faith to be able to make that move. Okay. So this is just basically a call to you today to sanctify yourself, like in these terms, right? Like get that internal preparation, focus on what you know, and build your faith to the point that you know that when you're making that move, you're not looking back. Yesterday, I was sharing with someone. I said, when failure is not an option, winning is the only thing. I mean, like winning is a must, right? When you give yourself the fact that failure is not an option, then winning is a must. So go into this next week. Of course, this is already the second week in October. So go into this next week knowing that you have to apply your faith, you have to sanctify yourself, like build yourself up from inside to the point that you know that whatever it is you're doing, you're going to put in your best to be able to make the, success out of it for yourself. And of course, the major ingredient here is faith. For me, I call it stubborn faith. What I mean by stubborn faith is it doesn't matter what seems to come against you, because yes, there will always be that element that will try to derail you from what your true purpose is. It's never going to be smooth and easy road to just go through. Yes, if not, why did they have to cross that initial sea and now they're having to cross another Jordan? There will always be obstacles. So rise up in faith to do boldly that which you know that God has called you to do, and do it in faith, because faith always wins. Faith always, always wins. Faith, even the Bible says that without faith it's impossible to please God, right? So do what you know you need to do and do it in faith. And of course, God's got you. All right. So I'm heading off to church. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Cheers.